die, to sleep, to dream.
The film Sing Sing is up for 3 Oscars this weekend. Based on a true story, it focuses on a group of men who are part of a thriving theater group inside the infamous New York prison.
Another rehabilitation through the arts program operates in downstate Illinois at the Women's Correctional Center in Decatur. As WGN's Richards reports, it's giving participants a chance to consider not what they are, but what they may be.
These actors are preparing to take on what many in theater consider one of the most difficult challenges of the stage.
Just a regular sonnet from Shakespeare. Just a sonnet from Shakespeare.
They're participating in one of the many programs across the country, bringing the arts to the incarcerated. This one is in downstate Illinois at the Decatur Correctional Center, a minimum security facility for women.
Abjured, the sight and company of men.
Oh. The Shakespeare Corrected initiative is led by Alex Miller, a professor with nearby Millikan University's Department of Theater and Dance, along with visiting professor Victoria Schrimmer, and with help from their students, bring Shakespeare's words to life for these women, many of whom never dreamed they'd be on stage.
A couple of my friends came and asked me to do it, and at first it was just because they wanted me.
A woman's face with nature's own hands painted.
What started out for some as a favor, eventually, even if only for a couple of hours a week, has become a form of freedom.
They needed somebody, but then I actually started enjoying it. You know, you can become yourself here.
I've been locked up 23 years, but I've been in Decatur Corrections for 6.
And while they're there as a consequence of their actions, most prisons have something for inmates to do as a diversion and source of development.
I do praise dancing, I went to manufacturing, dog grooming, dog training. There's just been all kinds of stuff that I've done over the years. This here, though, I think is going to break me out of my shell of being able to speak out more of how I'm feeling.
Dr. Shantae Holly, a professor and life coach, told us it may seem like play, but these women are doing life-changing work on themselves.
One of the reasons why programs like this are important is because it facilitates something called growth mindset, as opposed to fixed mindset. Fixed mindset is, this is my lot in life, this is who I was always meant to be in the world, it's always going to be like this for me. Growth mindset means that I can evolve beyond my mistakes. I can revisit this and reflect differently, and I can move forward.
Behavioral experts say a sense of agency is important, yes, even in prison. For Logan, rediscovering herself has been a difficult journey.
I am incarcerated for a tragedy that happened. I was involved in a DUI car accident, and I ultimately took the life of another. And for me, that broke me internally. For a really long time, I felt like there were things that I didn't deserve because of what I had done. And I felt like I didn't deserve to be happy. I felt like I didn't deserve to have myself. And this program helped me find that.
This is not my first incarceration. The day that I got here, the Shakespeare Corrected flyer came out on my unit. My other incarceration, I was not involved in a lot of programs. I just kind of skated through it, and I think that was where I messed up.
It just gives them so much confidence and a sense of support from not only the support of the individuals who are also in this with them, but from outside community who sees their value.
Shalith Hansbrough has been working in corrections for decades and has a sentimental connection to Shakespeare Corrected.
This program is special to me because when I was first named the warden of this facility 14 years ago, we sat around the table with my staff and we just talked about the possibilities. And when he first talked about Shakespeare, I was thinking, that's really hard stuff, right? But as we talked about it, we just said, sure, let's try it.
It'll even go into that second line.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
They put in a lot of work with us, but I think that a lot of people have Shakespeare confused when it comes to you can have a lot of fun with it.
When they come in here, for me, they're actors, they're performers, they're learners, and I'm here to help them pursue that.
As soon as they start to get to the relationships and the stories underneath the language, they begin to connect to it immediately.
I heard from several that said, I have never completed something that I started ever in my life. And this was an opportunity to start something that took about 9 months when they first brought the script before them to the completion of the actual performance.
It is scary.
And what should I do in the area? My brother. Right now, I'm sitting here petrified. I almost can't breathe, but I enjoy it, you know. It's a positive atmosphere, and there's no judgment.
I really don't have a problem expressing myself, as you can tell. I probably need to do it less.
Not everyone here needs help finding their voice.
I always wanted to be an actress when I was little, that or a stripper. I figure I'll go with this one. And this one seems more legit.
For Brittany, a born performer, the encouragement is contagious.
It's a little stressful. It gets a little stressful, but I love it. It doesn't really matter how slow we start out, because all these faces right here are always there to tell you, you're doing great.
The show is still a few months away. As they study their scripts, these early pangs of anxiety will be replaced with excitement, both on stage and in the audience.
Their children get to see them as a performer, doing really complex language and like encompassing multifaceted, nuanced emotions, and doing something in a costume with full lights that's really impressive. So they don't see their mother as anything other than a star in that moment.
I was extremely proud because my kids could take something so positive out of such a negative situation, you know, and they could look out, and that made me proud for them to be able to say, yeah, that's my mom. My mom did that.
A fool, a fool.
And as much as it means to the ladies right now, similar programs have proven to have had an even greater impact when they go home. And success on the outside makes them much less likely to return to the inside.
This is a minimum security facility. They are preparing to go home. And so when they go home, we want them to be better, and they want to be better.
That's kind of like what I'm taking with me, like outside of here as well. I want people to see me for who I've become, not for who I used to be or things that have happened in my past or mistakes that I made.
I wouldn't mind being involved in this on the outside, you know, helping kids or helping other prisoners do this too.
It's not lost on the women in here how the world typically thinks about people who are in prison. They are aware of that every day. And so I think the opportunity to be seen, and to be seen as something other than an incarcerated person, is enormously empowering and encouraging to them.
I carry a second chance every day. Good things are coming, that's all I can say.
Dean Richards, WGN News.